And we are now recording. So welcome everybody. I'll repeat the housekeeping items again. Please remain on mute unless you have a question. You can also use the chat box to ask a question. For anybody who joined recently, we are live streaming on Facebook, so you can share if you'd like via the network's Facebook page. And we're also recording, so we can play back at a later time. So just a brief introduction for those who don't know me. I'm Cheryl Sanchez. I'm the founder of the Networks organization and the author of The Journey of Success, Even When Success is Just Getting Out of Bed. The Networks is a network of leaders, forward thinkers, entrepreneurs, and change makers who have joined together to realize success. If you're interested in learning more about me, our members, or the Networks, you could visit our website at thenetworks.org or find us on social media. Tonight is part 3 of our series, Shifting and Adapting to 2020. In case you missed them, the first 2 sessions were recorded and they're available for viewing on the network's YouTube channel. We have several amazing speakers this evening, all entrepreneurs and leaders who have successfully shifted and adapted to the challenges of 2020. An important note, the purpose of tonight's event is to not make anyone feel a certain way about their accomplishments this year. That's never what we are about. Everyone has unique circumstances and we all shift and adapt differently. The purpose of tonight's event is to share stories, get ideas, and feel inspired, motivated, and empowered. And as always, to make long-lasting connections. So our first speaker tonight has without a doubt shifted and adapted successfully this year. She's an example of a serial entrepreneur who gets things done. If she thinks it's a good idea, if she thinks it's needed, the next time you talk to her, it's already up and running. And she's proof that your side hustle can become your primary source of income. She has multiple businesses, a spa in Westchester County, New York, a skincare line, a nutrition line, a baking business, and I probably missed one. She's also successfully advanced to the role of managing market builder for Monet, and she's built an extremely active following on social media. Let's welcome Tanya Perez. Tanya.
Thank you, Cheryl. Hello, good evening, everybody. So I am Tanya Perez. I am the owner of TMN Skincare and Wellness. It is a mini spa based in Westchester County, exactly White Plains, New York on Dobbs Ferry Road. I've had this business for 17 years now. I started mobile and then actually I was mobile for about maybe 5 years and then eventually went and got an office space in Yonkers. And then from Yonkers, I moved to Hawthorne and from Hawthorne to White Plains. So it's been going very well. In between those years, 2007, I believe it was, I developed my own skincare line. It's all natural and organic. I began doing it at home, started formulating my own products, and I decided to market it. So in order for me to market to the public, it has to go through FDA, and meaning going through FDA, the federal government, I'd have to go through a lab. So I hired a lab. They did all my packaging for me, all my formulations, and I successfully launched the products in 2009. 2007, I started it, 2009, I launched this. So it's about 13 years now that my skincare line has been out. It's been going very successful. I have a lot of following. I have a lot of clients that use the products. So that's been going well. I also am a baker, part-time, kind of like a hobby kind of thing. I've been baking for, I don't know, since I've been, I don't know, 5, 7, 8 years old. My mom's been baking all her life. So I took that trait from her. And I just picked up on it a few years ago and became very successful at it, making fondant cakes and cupcakes and desserts, and it was going very well. And along with that, I became a market partner with Monet. Most of you know what Monet is. It's a anti-aging hair care line or vegan hair products. They also have a skincare line as well, and they just launched their wellness line. So I have been very busy for the past several odd years. And I like what I do. It keeps me busy, keeps me on my toes. during this year, it's been very challenging. My business, of course, shut down in March. We were shut down for about, actually, March, April, May, June, July, about 4 months. Took a big hit, took a big loss, but I didn't let that, get me down, because I had my plan B and C and D. In between those months, while I was home, we were all in quarantine. My mind just keeps running and running. The entrepreneur in me just takes over. I'm in bed, I sleep, and when I'm sleeping, I dream of new ideas. So during COVID, I decided to come up with a nutrition line. My nutrition line consists of the apple cider vinegar gummies. I decided to do that because I am I love apple cider vinegar, the actual liquid part of it, but I just couldn't stand the taste of it. And my esophagus alone just became very raw. It was hurting. I was coughing a lot. It just became to a point where I just didn't want to take it anymore. And then I said one day, well, I was home, why not just do it in a gummy form, something tasteful with the same type of benefits? So about 4 or 5 days, I did some formulating. I was in my kitchen. I just started mixing some ingredients together. I had some little apple molds, and I said, let me just try it out and see how it would come out. So they came out pretty good. And I said, this is it. I have another business I'm going to launch, which is going to be Boost to Blend Nutrition. And I developed that actually April of 2020. I had my lab in Canada. That's in the formula to them. They put everything in bottles. They packaged everything. And I believe it was May, I launched it within 1 month, and sold out in July. I sold out 1,000 bottles. So that's what's been going on with me. And what else can I say? But back in business. The spa's back in business for 2 months now. We've been busy, really, really busy. Of course, with the COVID-19 new rules and regulations, we had to do some adapting on some shifting in scheduling, but it's been, busy. Everything's been going good. I'm grateful now. All of my clients have returned. They've been dying for me to open back up again. And that's pretty much it. Let me see
What about
else.
some of the ways that you were able to, like if the customer couldn't safely come to you, you would go to them, like you did the delivery drop-offs of the baking. So you started doing that.
Right. Yeah. Quarantine delivery. Right. I did that also. Yeah. I didn't think that was going to go good at all. I just said one day, let me just, post it on Facebook and on Instagram and see if anybody wants to, order, since we're all on quarantine. And then it was like, I had like 20 orders one day, 30 orders the next day. And I was like, shit, what did I get myself into? but it was fun. It was good. I did that. I had customers actually asking me, can you come to my house to do a facial? And I'm like, no, not during quarantine. I didn't want to take a chance and, having to be face to face like that and, in people's homes.
But you did notice that there was a unique product that you could create from that was facial related from the pandemic, from wearing masks. So why don't you tell us about how you developed that?
The oxygen products that I have. So that I came up with, actually was it last month or about 2 months ago? I said, there has to be a way where I can just get some products together to help clear up. The problem is that with the mask, and we all have to wear the mask, we're all getting the breakouts. The reason why we're breaking out with the mask is because we're rebreathing CO2. And along with that, we have bacteria that's just sitting there all day long, settling into the skin. When your skin is hot, your pores are open, bacteria setting in, boom, we're getting breakouts. So I decided to come up with an oxygen mask, skincare line. So that one consists of the cleanser, a toner, a mask, and a moisturizer. So those products actually help to kill bacteria in the skin. That also helps to eliminate any scarring that happens along with the breakouts on your skin as well. And it also restores oxygen in your skin as well, to actually make your skin breathe again while you're actually having the mask on.
So you took something that is like a pain in the neck for a lot of us, be like mask wearing, and you developed that into a business idea.
Yes. Yes, and it's been getting super busy now, because now I get more calls now for acne facials and maskne facials, because everyone is, is breaking out, and people are like, I don't know why I'm breaking out. And a lot of people, they're not knowledgeable when it comes to skin. So I school them when they come in, and I have to, I tell them, so look, everyone's having problems wearing these masks. And if you don't take care of your skin, if you don't cleanse the skin properly, if you don't exfoliate it properly, when you take the mask off, you're going to end up with more breakouts. So I've been getting a lot of clients coming in for facials.
I see you've got a lot of positive feedback here in the chat, so make sure that you share some of your links. If anybody has any questions specifically for Tanya, you can unmute and ask. Otherwise, we could always have questions at the end as well. Does anyone have any questions for Tanya?
I just want to see the links because I want to look at your products. That's fantastic.
Okay. I'm gonna send all of them, like all 100 links I have, all 1,000 businesses here. No.
Yeah, I meant it when I said she had a lot of businesses.
I do, and it's not. It's because I love what I do. I love coming up with ideas. Most importantly, I like to have my plan B and a C and a D, because why? My big why is, if we get shut down again, I don't have to rely on plan A and sit here and cry like, what am I going to do with only plan A? So I have to have plan B, and if plan B doesn't work out, then I have C and D. We don't know if we're going to get shut down again. The way things are going right now with 11 zip codes shutting down, these businesses are shutting down. If I get shut down again, I have to plan ahead of time financially. So this is why I do more than one entrepreneurial business of mine. They call me like a jack of all trades. Someone called me, someone said to me, are you Jamaican? Because only Jamaicans have like 10 jobs.
I think we all have like 10 jobs or most of us have multiple streams, which is always a great thing, especially in times like this now.
Yeah, we have to have multiple streams of income. People that are making 6 figures a year, I don't care if you're making $8,000 a month, you still need a multiple stream of income.
I agree. Important. Definitely agree. All right. Thank you so much, Tanya.
Oh, you're very welcome. I'm putting my links in the chat now.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And so our next speakers, I would like to introduce together, and they both have also been coming up with ideas to shift and adapt to the challenges that have been a part of 2020. One of the speakers is a recipient of the 25 Bronx Influential Women of 2012 Award presented by the Bronx Times Reporter. She's the founder of a successful advertising and marketing company that provides services to Bronx-based businesses and organizations. She's run numerous successful community events, and she helped launch Bronx 360, an exclusive Bronx tourism publication. She joined the Mary Kay family, and in less than a year, she climbed the career path and became a sales director, and now she's qualified for the Mary Kay Pink Cadillac. The other member of her team that I would like to introduce along with her, she's also a part of the Mary Kay family, and in addition to that, she's also a mother, a grandmother, an educator, a wellness advocate for doTERRA. I'm sure I'm missing something. She's absolutely a people person, and it is her mission to provide the best customer service, both professionally and personally. Please welcome Jackie Acevedo Villanueva and Lynn Artesona.
Thank you, Cheryl. So I'm gonna, Lynn is gonna do the first part, and then I will chime in, but thank you so much for introducing us, and welcome everyone who's joining us, our team members. I see many of you ladies here, Gold Ultimate Dream Team. I also see one of our adoptees online, so thank you so much, and everyone that's online and on Facebook Live, thank you for joining us. So without any further delays, I'm gonna have Lynn get started. Then you have to unmute yourself.
Okay, can you hear me now? Yes?
Yes. Yes.
Good evening, everyone. Hi, I'm Lynn Artesona, and I'm part of Jackie's Dream Team that is now the Dream Team Cadillac unit, and she'll explain that to you further. But I'd like to explain what went on when COVID started. Everything was shut down. Many people were working from home. Most of us were working from home. So my communication, I said, now what? What am I going to do? I have business and I can't get to my customers, but it was a blessing in disguise. Because of COVID, and I'm at high risk because of my age, I'll divulge that later. I wasn't able to readily go outside and meet clients or do facials one-to-one, but I had my phone and I had my computer. So, so the phone and the computer helped me to establish good rapport with my former customers. But we also had the support of a good team, a good support team, and a great sisterhood and great leadership through Jackie Villanueva, okay? Who is our national, oh, not yet, I'm sorry. Who is our sales director, okay? So without further ado, I'm going to let you know that it's been a blessing in disguise, because now I'm able to speak to my customers. We're able to do virtual facials. We're able to do pink sales. And Mary Kay has put it all out there for us to do. And it's easier than what we had before, because I'm able to speak to my customers one-on-one. I can also do facials one-on-one, or I can do facials in a group. So sales in a group. So we have a lot of things going on, and it's actually boosted business for me. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over the mic to Jackie Villanueva and let her tell you the rest of our story. Thank you.
Thank you, Lynn. Ladies, so as of September 30, our team, we call it now the Ultimate Dream Team, we were a Cadillac unit. This is just a few days ago. Actually, last week, we were, we won it. And the funny part is that in 2020, when we had, you know, our group meeting, we knew we wanted to accomplish this goal, and, you know, things happened, right? March came along, and then all of a sudden there was this whole pandemic, and then we, you know, honestly speaking, we were freaked out a little bit, right? But we quickly jumped to it. The company was so great at providing tutorials and trainings and showed us how to move our business from in-person, from traveling and running around to doing everything virtually, to the point that, you know, we learned how to have samples and ship it out to our clients in beautiful fancy envelopes. We discovered pirateship.com. We sent everything out for at an affordable price, much cheaper than the postal service. We learned about Zoom. We have, like, you know, our team is techie. Like, she's actually online. I love her to death. She's one of my great ones. Like, she knew how to, like, set us all up. And I mean, like, the teamwork was relentless. And that's what we learned from this, is that we have to work together. And there are gonna be days when you don't feel like working, or you're like in shock of what's going on, but you have to stay motivated, and you have to hold the hands of your team members, and because there's no I in team. And the beauty of Mary Kay is that they drill it into us, sisterhood, sisterhood, sisterhood. And so they build powerful team leaders, and that's who we are today. So yes, we managed to do this in less than a year, in achieving 3 cars. We, you know, one was in January, we picked it up, and we won the Equinox back in March. And, you know, and it's a funny story. It's still at the dealership, the license plates and everything. Maybe, who knows, I'm gonna probably pick up the pink caddy before it, but it's okay, it's 3 cars, right? But I just wanted to tell you what helped us become very successful as well is that we reinvented ourselves. We created an opportunity out of a crisis. We did not sit in a corner and cry. Maybe some of us did that, you know, in the beginning, because we were in shock. But we knew, like, to stay in touch, to stay connected. We knew to stay motivated. We knew to find resources. Even today, I still call some of you and we stay in touch, right? The ideas, I just love it. Like, you know, the ideas flow. And I mean, we just gotta hold our hands and be, surround ourselves with other successful entrepreneurs. So what else helped us get to the next level? Inventory. When the stores were closed, people were calling me for basic cleansers, basic moisturizers, mascara, because they were afraid to go to a store. They were afraid to shop. I mean, things were not available. Amazon, you know, wasn't as reliable, but we were. Our team was. And the beauty of our sisterhood, again, is that if I didn't have a product, my sister had it. I mean, we were like making sure that our customers got everything they needed. And our company stepped up to a point where they created shipping for us for just $3.50, no matter how big the order was or where our client lived throughout the US. There was tracking information. I mean, they really stepped it up to the place. So we were able to grow our business. Our clientele has grown. And to be honest with you, this is what I do full time. And through Mary Kay, I'm able to sustain my family. So I'm very proud, and we have our team members who are doing really, really well too. So what is it like to be a Cadillac unit? You know, what my best tips are for you ladies and men that are on tonight with us. I would just say, number one, I'm gonna give you everyone tips, right? Because it's good to take good notes. I would just say, number one, put your faith in God. Like, start your day either meditation or at peace and speak into existence what you like to happen. Start off the day right. Number two, for every crisis, create an opportunity. Don't call yourself full of drama. Just figure it out what it is, because things don't happen by accident. Figure it out. No excuses. Adjust to the situation. Number three, it's adapting to the new situation. So in this case, we went virtual. We created sample packets. We discovered pirate ship. We discovered Zoom. Number four, be creative. All right, so how do we get girls and men to want to join us? We did themed facial parties, birthday parties. We have a fantastic fantasy Halloween party coming up. We did mommy and me's, and believe it or not, we found a niche. We found a whole demographic. Men, oh my God, men have skin too. And we had like very successful skincare parties with men. And for some of my consultants, forget it. They are like doing so well with the whole men demographic. Number five, inventory. You should always have inventory. If you are providing a service, make sure that when your client calls you, you are up to date in terms of knowledge and products. Number six, philanthropy. So in the beginning of the year, we joined the Journey to Success, and which Cheryl hosted, funny, and Joel, and we had some guest speakers talk about philanthropy. So we give back to the community either through the Mary Kay Foundation, but we also support our sisters and brothers in the business and, you know, in small businesses. We also did, our team members also did essential care packages. We went to hospitals. You know, that opened the door for us because we developed new relationships and new contacts. If you have someone who opened up a business, buy a product for them. If they're having a live Tupperware party or whatever it is, support them, because you know what, you're going to open up a relationship and that person will support you back. And believe it or not, when you do things like that, more blessings come your way. Not only that, but it opens you a network of new people. Number seven, social media, like, you know, support each other through social media. That builds your algorithm. Like, comment, you know, do what it takes. Share, engage with folks. So we learned during COVID, people that have not spoken to in over a year because everyone was so busy running around, I was able to establish a relationship with them. I was able to call them and speak to them. And that's where my best clients have come from, because I was able to like really engage in great conversations, and they trust me in terms when it comes to skincare or any other skincare issues they have throughout their body, which is funny. Affirmations. So I'm a little crazy. I have I had stickies everywhere. Stickies that remind me. The Cadillac was posted everywhere. I even drew it. Like, I wanted to make it fun. I drew it out. Like, I was like, you know, and I put the word BB, whatever. And then my husband thinks I'm like funny. But even when I woke up, I saw it. Like, that was the first thing I saw the whole month of September. Organize, number 9, organize your home. Very important. Delegate work, right? It's gonna take you 2-3 hours to wash clothes if you go outside. Why not hire someone to do it? Why not drop it off at the laundry? Those 2-3 hours, take it to make a sales call, to do a virtual class, to do something for yourself. Time is money. Number 10, reward yourself. So in this case, we rewarded ourselves with the pink Cadillac. We were busy, we were consistent, we were focused. We stayed motivated, we stayed in touch, and here we are, we're celebrating. So it's been a good year. And I'm just like really grateful for our team members, for everyone in the journey and, you know, in the networks, for my friends and family, for my small business owners that I've been in touch with and that stay in touch. I'm truly grateful. So I think that, you know, if we can do anything to help you feel better, to motivate you, to empower you, here we are, because like I am one of the most positive person on earth, because I'm never like negative. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Lynn and Jackie. I mean, I think one of the things that was so great was how quickly you guys shifted and adapted. I mean, it was really early in the year where I think it was Lynn that reached out to me. And, you know, I'm quite entrepreneurial, but I don't obviously think of everything. And so when Lynn reached out to me and she's like, you want to do a virtual facial? I'm like, how the heck do you even do something like that?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, but it was great. So not only was it, you know, an easy setup, like it was so well thought out. And so not only was it still expanding, you know, your business, but it was connecting people and being social and doing something that was fun and positive in, you know, in the midst of the craziness that was going on. So I think it was just such a great way to shift and adapt and change to how things were happening. Thank you very much. Does anybody have any questions for Lynn or Jackie right now? And they can definitely put their contact info in the chat as well.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Lynn
Thank
and
you.
Jackie. All right, our next speaker is the owner of Confetti Party Place and the leader behind the Confetti brand of ideas, events, kids, clowns, painting parties, and more. If you're in or around the Bronx area, you have probably heard of Confetti. Earlier this year, she was featured on News 12 The Bronx with her innovative entrepreneurial idea, character visit drive-bys, when her party place was closed. In addition to all that, she recently added an additional stream of income and became a representative with Melaleuca. Let's welcome Lourdes Melendez-Gamez, or Minnie Mouse.
Hello, everybody. It's so great to be here. Hello.
What a surprise guest. I did not have that booked.
Hey guys. Yes, so thank you all for being here to, oh wait a minute. Now Lila, my dog Lila, she sees Minnie and she gets scared. Sorry. So thank you for having me today. It's so great to be back. I'd like to talk today about how my company actually pivoted during this. Hey, are you okay? Come on, come down. I'm sorry, wait a minute. I can't do this. Come on, Lila. Oh, there we go. Okay.
There's a lot of unregistered guests on your end, Lourdes.
What? She wants to come back. She's nervous with Minnie. Okay. Sorry, guys. I didn't realize Minnie was going to get her like this. But yes, so it was a struggle. This year was definitely a challenge that none of us, you know, had a clue was ever going to happen. And I was one of those, which I actually shocked myself, but I was one of those that when it first happened, that first week of, what was it, March 16th, March 17th, for a few days, I was just oh my gosh, crying, weeping, just sad. Like, I just felt like my whole world was gonna crumble. Like, what the heck is going on? I'm gonna lose my store. I'm gonna lose my business. I'm gonna be poor and in the streets. Like, you know, you start thinking these things. It's crazy. And thankfully, I snapped out of it. And I said, okay, I don't have a party room. That's okay. I've been in business for 17 years, and the party room is only 7 years old. So I decided, well, let's go back to what I used to do and just change it up a bit. And that's when we came up with the character drive-bys. So basically, my party room, I would rent it out on the weekends, and that was our business. We would rent it out for children's birthdays, for any type of celebration, baby showers. And then since we couldn't do that anymore, we decided to bring the celebration to the kids. So I felt like it was I guess my 5 seconds of fame. I felt like the Pied Piper of kids all around the Bronx. Every day I had either Mickey and Minnie, or I had superheroes like Spider-Man and Captain America or Mario Brothers. I had fun-loving characters that the kids, as soon as we would pull up to their homes, they would go nuts. They would come out in their PJs or in their little outfits and we would bring music, and kids would start dancing with Mickey and Minnie or Olaf. And it was the best. It was, you know what, for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, not even, it was about 10, 15 minutes, the kids forgot about what was going on. And that was the best part. Parents were recording and taking pictures. They loved it. We started doing it at first as donation-based. I did like this Save Our Store campaign because I was afraid, again, that I was going to lose my store. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know how I was going to pay the rent. I actually started opening up confetti this month. This is the first month that it's finally rented. So that's a long time to be paying rent and not generating any income. But definitely between the character visits, along with paint kits that we started developing we were well known for our paint and sip parties for kids. And instead of them doing it at confetti, we designed and created all the paint kits and would send them out to the families. And then again, I'm a firm believer of multiple streams of income. And I joined a great company called Melaleuca. It's a wellness online shopping club. And I joined because I was driving myself crazy with Lysol. I was Lysoling everything, and her and I were getting sick. And so as a result, I decided just to go with non-toxic products that, just make the home a little bit safer. So I think that in terms of pivoting and seeing how you can, change, if your business if you can still create a good business or create income, rather, generating income now through a pandemic, and you're doing well, great. My advice, just like the others had mentioned, definitely there's room for more. Why not? If you're making 8,000, 10,000, why not go for 12 or 13? Definitely add another business, something that you like to do, something, if you're into, like Tanya with her baking, that's awesome. I would have never thought, a spa person and then who bakes. That's really cool. So or Jackie, she was Miss Moss, and with all these public events that her and I even worked together, she would hire my company to do several of her events. So the fact that now she's, doing her beauty business, that's awesome with Mary Kay. So just check out something else that you really like, whether it's, cooking. Cooking is really big now. Nobody wants to cook because they're too busy working from home and working with their children and their homework. I had a taste of that. My after school, I run an after school during the week, but the after school right now is not in business because the kids are home. So they don't need to be, they don't need my services, which, Joel, I think you're gonna appreciate this. Be careful what you wish for and what you put out into existence with your words, because I have been saying for maybe 1 or 2 years, I don't want to run this after school anymore. I'm just done. I don't want to deal with homework. What can I do to close this after school? I don't want to be an after school teacher anymore. And look, COVID took care of that. So now I knew you would like that, Joel. At first I thought, oh my gosh, my after school, what am I going to do? And then I thought, you know what? I don't even care. It's fine. Like, one less thing to have to worry about. I don't want to deal with kids and their fractions. And I don't know. It was great when it started, but I feel like I've moved on, and I really enjoy the party scene. I really enjoy being with kids and making them laugh and just having a great time. I'd rather that than sitting there and helping them with their homework. It's just not my thing. But yeah, look at what your strengths are, what you're good at, and find a way to monetize it. Find a way to make money out of it. Hey, if you like pets and and you want to do dog walking, why not? Someone like me who's working from home, I would love someone to walk her. So there's so many opportunities out there. We just got to think outside the box and figure out how we can use our skills and what we're good at that can be used at a time like this. Right now, this pandemic is teaching us to be cleaner. It's teaching us to be more tech savvy. We have to be up with the latest social media trends, with the latest apps. That's how you're gonna really you're gonna monetize this whole thing. And yeah, just have fun with it all. There's no time. That's the beauty of being an entrepreneur. There's no time to be sad and, oh, I can't do this. Don't listen to those negative thoughts in your head. Instead, turn it around and try to find the opportunity. There's an opportunity in every single thing. In every single challenge, there's an opportunity. I promise you that. Thank you, guys.
I think, Lourdes, you bring up a really good point, is that not only did you find ways of pivoting your business to be able to do things throughout the challenges that we had this year, but you also took the time to evaluate, because I know that you and I also talked a couple of times about it this year. You took the time to evaluate what you actually didn't like and what maybe you didn't want to spend so much energy on moving forward. So I think that's also really, really important. Not only are you shifting and adapting and pivoting the things that you want to do, it's a good time to really evaluate what you even want to do. Mm-hmm. And put your time and energy into the things that really make you happy.
Absolutely.
That's a great point. Does anyone have any questions right now for Lourdes? All right, Lourdes, if you can make sure to put your links in the chat box. Thank you so much. All right, our next speaker is an expert at inspiring, motivating, and empowering. For the last 3 decades, his hunger to rise above has yielded an impressive array of accomplishments, from multiple successful businesses to bodybuilding championships, radio, TV, stage, and print work, to authoring 5 books. From an entire sales and personal development series to speaking in front of many diverse audiences on different topics, all have uniquely qualified him to offer valuable knowledge, instruction, inspiration, and impact to those seeking to develop the higher and greater expression of themselves. I would like to welcome Jay Maymi.
All right, thanks for the intro there. Give me 1 second and we'll get started. Otherwise, you'll hear my car open, the door dinging from the car opening. So give me 1 second here, Cheryl. I just came in from a networking meeting, so I rushed to the car, and I just got here in the nick of time to hear that excellent person who just spoke. Kudos to you. Kudos to you. She was fired up. Guys, let me share with you what I think could be a little bit of help here, because I do believe the topic of the talk that Cheryl put together is important, and there's a lot of talk these days that involves this type of topic, and it's for good reason. Yesterday I was actually I was prepping for an event coming up called the Best You Expo, and by the way, I will share that with Cheryl, so Cheryl can share with everyone. The Best You Expo is it's a global expo, about 195 million subscribers to this, so it's incredibly successful. And they pick about 100 speakers to speak for over the course of 3 days, and it's pretty powerful. So I was recording my session yesterday, and one of the things that we were talking about with this branding specialist, Laura Butler, we were talking about, so what do you do? I mean, in a situation like this, if you figure out a lot of things you've tried haven't worked, you try to reinvent yourself, but it's a difficult time to reinvent yourself. I mean, is it impossible? No, but it certainly isn't. The time isn't the most perfect. It's not pristine in order to reinvent yourself as it would have been maybe a year ago. So you have to factor all of these things in. But one of the things I talked about in my particular episode, what I'll share with you guys tonight, and it's a little bit dovetailing of what, and I forgot, I didn't get her name there just now, the young lady who just wrapped up, but it sort of dovetails off that. I think one of the very important factors that a person has to come to grips with is that everyone is a multi-talented person, and regardless of what you might think, regardless what you've been told, regardless what schooling system and maybe what academic, wherever you went to school or wherever you grew up, may have indoctrinated you to believe that you are one talent, maybe a top tier talent in one area, and then everything else you may not be as talented. It's baloney. I think that we're wired and programmed, and we have a wonderful multiple ways to create different experiences in our lives that can be monetized, because we come with a tremendous amount of gifts, not just one. But I think along the way, here's what happens, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you are a business owner or an employee planning a jailbreak, a corporate jailbreak. I think a lot of times we get so comfortable with what's convenient to us in terms of our skills that we get caught in a trap, and it's a downward trap. And so what I mean by that is, if you've been involved in one area of service, one area of work, one area of work experience or entrepreneurial experience, offering one service for so long, what happens is you begin to believe that's all you're good at. You begin to believe that that's the only value you can bring to the marketplace, and you get caught in time and tradition of what you've been doing for so long. And one of the reasons why I've been able to have the successes that I've had ever since I was 13 years old, but really more when I was past 21, 22, is because I've acknowledged and I've recognized what my gifting is, but I've never allowed myself to stay in one arena and to just have one experience, one expression of that gift. You have to be able to understand that your life and your ability to monetize and make a living and do something special and bring value to the world is like a highway with multiple lanes. So the person that I was talking to yesterday says to me, Jay, why are you involved in so many things? And I said, let me just stop you for a second. I have a lot of things going on. This is true, and I've done different things, as like Cheryl just mentioned, but it's all on the same highway. I know the highway that I'm on. I'm not looking to leave the highway. I'm just looking to switch lanes. And it's okay to switch lanes as long as you stay on the same highway. But you have to identify the highway that you're on. And too many people get on one highway, they stick to the left lane, and they never get off the left lane. They don't have the desire or the guts or the ability or the grit to say, let me see what it feels like to go on the middle lane. Let me see what it feels like to go on the third lane. And then you realize, hey, you mean there's 7, 8 more lanes to this highway I can travel on? And the answer is yes, as long as you continue to move in a forward progress and forward direction, whether it's the left lane, the middle, or the right lane, don't matter. We all come wired with multiple lanes to our highway experience of life. So it's such a drastic mistake to make, and I see it happen all the time, where people stay to their lane. And we've heard that. You've heard people say the cliche, stick to your lane. Well, and I'll just say nicely, it's bullshit. Whoever said stick to your lane probably led a very boring life. Didn't take any risk. Lived in a corner for 30 years cowering. You're supposed to take risks. You're supposed to have multiple expressions to your existence in multiple ways, not just in a career or a way that allows you to monetize a business. You're supposed to do that in multiple different ways. So stick to your lane is garbage, especially if you're living the life of an entrepreneur who comes to the table with many, many gifts. And let me share with you this about gifts. and I'm being very sincere when I say this. There's tons of people over my 37 years of being an entrepreneur that I've come across with, whether it's coaching, speaking, or just having regular conversation. And a lot of these people are what I call wandering generalities. They wander through life, good people, solid people, gifted, wonderful people, but they wander through life not ever really knowing, what am I here for? And by the way, it's the saddest, most unfortunate thing in the world to come to your last few days and to realize that the life you lived was wrong. Imagine if you get to your final days, your final hours, and when you transition and you cross over, you look back and you find out, man, the life I lived was wrong. That wasn't the life I was supposed to live. But there's no returning. And I know a lot of people, there are a lot of people that are living that life right now because they've never identified why they're here. Let me help you, if anything else tonight, understand this concept of multiple lanes on the same highway. Figuring out first, what's the highway that I'm assigned to? Here's how you figure that out. And I'm telling you guys, it took me a long time to really understand this for myself. I knew there was something special, but I couldn't put my finger on it until like 4 years ago. That little voice whispered in my ear and said, you ready to learn? I said, yeah. And boom, within 30 seconds, it was all revealed to me. And it all made sense. Your gifts, the gifts that you have, the gifts that I have. By the way, if you don't even know your gifts, that's a problem. You need to hit the pause button immediately, have a self-talk, take some time out, and go find, and rather go identify what you came to this place with, already gifted with. What you came with as a gift. If you don't identify those gifts, the rest of it won't make any sense. And here's what I mean about that. By the way, your gifts, if you need a little help identifying it, your gifts is what comes easy to you that doesn't necessarily come easy to others. It's what others have to work hard at comes easy to you. I can't throw a baseball 90 miles an hour. It's not my gift. I can throw a baseball 60, 65. I wasn't gifted to play baseball. I can't run that fast. I run fast, but I ran track in high school, but I'm not gifted to be an Olympic runner. I'm not gifted in math, so I can't do IT work. That's not my gift. My gift is the ability to speak, the ability to write, the ability to produce. And how do I know that? And how do you know what's a gift and what's something that you have to work at? I said earlier, it's what comes easy. I've never taken one writing course in my whole daggum life. Never took a writing course, never took a speaking course, never took a business course, never took a production course. And I've written 10 books, and all of them well-reviewed, and great testimonies from people who've read those 10 books. I've done talks in front of so many people. I've never been trained in, why? Because it's a gift. You don't have to work hard at something that you come already prepared to do, because that gift is going to reveal your assignment. And that's where people get stuck. When you ask the question, why am I here? You know what people are really asking when they ask that question? What's my assignment? Did I just show up in this place to wander around like a generality? What's my assignment? And when you realize what your assignment is, here's what happens to you. That assignment is going to then identify your purpose. So let me say that again, because it takes time to absorb that. Your gifts, what you're good at. If you're a singer, that means that's a gift. Your gifts will reveal your assignment. Now you know, this is why I'm good at this, because I'm supposed to use this for this. I'm supposed to use this gift for this assignment. That realization of the assignment is what's going to steer you and identify for you your purpose. Amy's purpose is based on my gifts. My purpose is to inspire, impact, influence, and instruct others for their good and the good of the world. Period. Took me a long time to realize that one, guys. inspire, influence, impact, and instruct others. My gifts reveal that assignment to me. That's my purpose. Now, how I express that has been the multiple lanes on the highway. And by the way, the minute you realize what your purpose is, passion kicks in. You know, the old saying, man, I'm running on fumes. Well, that's how a lot of people also live their lives. They run on fumes. They're just going through the motions. Passion is the fuel that drives your purpose. And then, of course, the purpose is in pursuit of your passion, and your passion becomes rather your assignment, and your assignment is revealed once you know your gifts. So that's why there's people that walk around passionless. They walk around passionless because they don't even know what the purpose of them being here. They're wandering around because they have no assignment. Imagine if you have children and the teacher, the woman who just spoke was an after-school teacher. Imagine what happens, and not imagine because we all have kids and we know exactly what happens, right? When the teacher tells the kid, no homework, the kid goes home after school, especially if you're 8, 9, 10, 11. What does a kid do when he goes home? Runs amok. He doesn't have any direction, doesn't have an assignment, so he's all over the place. But when a teacher gives him an assignment, he goes home, he knows what he's supposed to do. We operate the same way. When we don't know our assignment, we're wandering generalities. So this idea of a highway, and I'll wrap up here with this. This idea of a highway with multiple lanes, that highway is just you recognizing why you are here, where you're supposed to go. And as you're on that journey going somewhere, you're supposed to use the multiple lanes because those multiple lanes are just an expression of your gifts. Just an expression of your gift. Cheryl Sanchez is very gifted. This networks organization that she's put together is yet another expression of who she is, of her assignment. And I can promise you, she doesn't do it for no reason. She's passionate about this because she knows her assignment. She knows her purpose. She's identified her gifts. So if there's anything I can encourage you guys tonight in terms of how do you continue to develop a better version of yourself, whether it's in business, whether it's in whatever it is, doesn't matter. But specifically, since we're talking about business and career enhancement, get crystal clear on what your gifts are. You may be operating your gifts on the wrong highway. You may be driving the wrong vehicle that you're not assigned to drive. If you don't come to the conclusion, if you don't come to realization of what the gifts are, you could find yourself, as I said earlier, not only a wandering generality, but feeling a lot of discouragement, a sense of unhappiness, a sense of lack of fulfillment. And you don't want to live your life that way because one day it will end. And when you look back and you're going to realize I took all those years, I had all that time and I didn't fulfill what I was supposed to fulfill. And you will walk away from this experience empty. And that will be a shame. So can I encourage you guys? Whatever you do over the next couple of days, make sure you're crystal clear on your gifts. And make sure that as you recognize your gift, that you are on the right path of assignment. You're operating in the assignment that your gifts were called to do. And then ratchet up that purpose and get fired up with passion. And you're not going to have the challenges that most people today are having who are not as passionate as they should be simply because they're wandering. And pandemics makes wandering people wander even more. Cheryl, I hope I didn't take too much time.
No, Jay, and I think that, it worked out so well for you to follow Lourdes, because when Lourdes was speaking, one of the things that she brought up that, not only talking about shifting and adapting, pivoting existing businesses, she had also evaluated this year what she didn't want to do, what she didn't feel like doing anymore, what she wanted to discontinue. And that's really, a huge opportunity to take the time to do that. And then, to hear you speak about now evaluate what it is you want to do. What do you even want to do is just, it just perfectly matched right after what Lourdes said. And it's such a great message that is just so important for everybody, especially in these crazy times that we're living in. We know how important every minute of every day is, and to assess that and make sure that we're spending time doing the things that are important to us and purposeful is just huge. So I really appreciate you sharing that with us. Does anyone have any questions for Jay? And Jay, I will type your website in the chat since you are mobile. Anyone have any questions for Jay? All right. Well, thank you very much, Jay. We really appreciate it. That was great. Definitely inspired, motivated, and empowered after that. Thank you. And our last speaker is a prosperity coach who helps others overcome obstacles standing in the way of their financial freedom. In 2019, he published the 9 Money Rules Millionaires Use, Only the Unconventional Ones, which was a bestseller in both self-help and personal finance. In 2018, he published another bestseller, Mindful Money Management, Memoirs of a Hedge Fund Manager. He's an award-winning speaker and frequent podcast guest and has appeared on TV. He's an advanced communicator, gold Toastmaster, and a certified infinite possibilities trainer and trailblazer. He's been a chartered financial analyst since 1995, and his financial experience includes managing a $700 million portfolio for Citi. Let's welcome Joel Salomon.
Thanks, Cheryl. Thanks for having me, and thanks everybody for sticking around. I know I'm between you and the Yankee game. Just for your update, the Yankees are up 2-0 in the third, so go Yankees. But hopefully you stick around for a few more minutes and get some inspiration. I know Jay inspired me, and I just wanted to, before I start some prepared remarks, talk a little bit about Jackie's conversation, which I think was just awesome. First of all, knowing your goal. And the fact that, you know, she, from my point of view, she used rule number 4 in 9 Money Rules Millionaires Use, which is called visualization. She saw the pink Cadillac, she put it around, right? And that is a really empowering and powerful way to create your dreams, your desires, and money. So visualization is really powerful. Affirmations sound like she uses affirmations as well. I highly recommend having some powerful affirmations like, I'm a money magnet. Lucrative opportunities always come my way. You know, there's actually a list of 10 on my website. I'll share my website in a second. It's solomon.com. But there's a whole slew of affirmations you can choose from every day. Most important is believe in them. Belief is really important. Just don't say things you don't believe in. And I think both Lourdes and Jackie gave the example of a quote from my book, which is, and it's a year that we're living this, but from bad things come good things, and from terrible, awful things come amazing, great things. So think about how this environment this year, and Jackie and Lourdes and everyone who spoke tonight is examples of how you can create amazing, awesome things from terrible, awful, right? And so it's just a mindset. It's a powerful, positive mindset. And if you can create that mindset, the world's your oyster. And I just wanted to comment a little bit more on Lourdes. It was great recognizing that negative thoughts were creating negativity, right? And she said, you know, she was afraid of losing her store, and then she shifted. And then also the thought about, you know, for years she wanted to close the after-school program. She got what she wanted. Not the way she wanted it, but the universe creates for you. Before I get into my prepared remarks also, I wanted to give you guys, which is rule number 6, giving, a really powerful white paper I wrote earlier this year, right when the pandemic started, called The 5 Mega Trends Guaranteed to Shape Your Future. A lot of you guys are into health and wellness. That is the second. The SHAPE, by the way, is an acronym. And you'll see it in the white paper. But if you text right now, you can get out your phone and text to the number 66866. I'll put it in the chat here. 9 Money Rules, the number 9, like my book, Money Rules. You'll get my free white paper, The 5 Mega Trends Guaranteed to Shape your future. So let me talk to you a little bit about how I shifted this year. As Cheryl mentioned, I'm a prosperity coach. I teach people mostly one-on-one up until this year. The concepts of mindfulness around money, how to shift your limiting beliefs to empowering beliefs around money, how to shift from lack and scarcity to prosperity and abundance. And then I also teach the basics of investing. If anyone's interested in investing in stocks or bonds or real estate, I have a 5-step proprietary stock screen in my book. I have a 7-step real estate screen in my book. I teach anyone's interested. Somebody came to me last year about wanting to know about cryptocurrency. I taught them all about Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. And then I also teach people who are struggling. You know, this year it's been a lot of people getting unemployed or racking up credit card bills. So I teach people how to reduce their credit card bills. There's a game in my book called The Budget Game, which you can use to reduce your outstanding credit card bills. And then I teach people how to improve their credit score. There's 5 ways you can do that. So I was doing all this one-on-one mostly, but this year I shifted and I started, and I think some of you in this class, a group class I started in April called Peace and Prosperity Now with world-renowned yoga and meditation teacher, Charit Rodriguera. And what she does is she centers people first before I go into the exercises each. It's a 9-week course we're doing. And we started in April. We just started another one in September. And each week we go into one of the 9 money rules. So she centers people, gets them into a space where you can easily accept and believe in the rule that we're going into that week. So that's one thing I shifted this year. We made it almost free. I think the classes this session are $39 a week. We're starting week 3 next Tuesday. It's Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. So almost free. I do another group class, which is starting the 22nd, 2 weeks from tonight. That class is $4,000. I'm actually doing the first class for free on the 22nd. If anybody wants to sign up, it's on my website, or they can email me. But that class is all about manifesting. So I started that this year as well, but that's just me. But I do have a meditation in that class, and we go through specific techniques, 8 specific techniques about how to manifest, how to create your life, not only money, but how to manifest your dreams and desires. And then also we go through, so the first week on the 22nd, I'll go through a specific technique, empowering technique to manifest. And finally, another thing I had planned already this year, but we've made a lot of progress on is my next book. It's a joint venture with a couples coach. It's going to be called Infinite Love and Money. My first 2 books, as Cheryl mentioned, my first book was a memoir. My second book, the 9 Money Rules, is specific techniques to use to become a millionaire. And this book is really for couples. So I know there's a lot of couples here tonight. And actually, I read Molly Singh, the woman who I'm doing this book with. I read her first book on a couple, for couples in general. I'm single, but it actually helped me to think about when I'm going to be in a relationship, how to act in that in general. So I guess this book could be the same way. When you get into a relationship, how to think about money, because as you guys know, money is the #1 reason why relationships end. So I'm working on that book with her. We're basically done. We'll probably publish it early next year, given getting the testimonials and all the process to publish the book. And so that's some of the ways I've shifted this year. I did want to end with rule number 5 of the 9 money rules, which is gratitude. And tell you a quick story. It's 105 degrees. Are you kidding me? No, it hasn't gone down since you left. Is there anything else we should do? We gave her the cold compresses. We gave her the baby Tylenol. No, we're coming right home. This was the conversation I had with my mom. It was November 2006. Morgan was not yet 9 months old. And I was on the Upper East Side with my wife at the time, celebrating her birthday. We rushed home, took one look at Morgan. She was really pale, clearly not herself. We gave her more cold compresses, more baby Tylenol. I even gave her a cold bath, where I found out how strong she was, even at 9 months. And called the pediatrician, who said if the temperature doesn't go down, that we should go to the hospital the next morning. Well, the temperature did go down, but on Monday morning, we did take her to the pediatrician, who took one look at Morgan and said, get to the hospital. She knew her history. So we get to the hospital, surgeon says she needs surgery. And of course, our only question was, is there any way to avoid surgery? And he was like, no, she has to have surgery. So can you imagine a baby not yet 9 months old? She gets hooked up to all these wires in the IV tube. And then the surgeon told us to hold her down so that he could put the laughing gas mask over her nose and mouth to put her out. Now, I don't know exactly when the tears stopped rolling down my cheeks, but they did eventually. Surgeon came out a few hours later and told us the operation was a success. But again, though, we really couldn't be prepared for the fact that Morgan's IV tube was still in her after the operation was a success. And thankfully, a few hours later, they took out all the tubes and the wires, and she was smiling and herself again. So why do I tell this story? Gratitude. I am so grateful for having a healthy, intelligent, courageous, beautiful 14-year-old daughter today. And what could you be grateful for? Who could you be grateful for? Gratitude is a very powerful, really, really powerful rule of the 9 money rules. In fact, gratitude is so powerful, it works magic. It's great to work it into your affirmations whenever you can. Give thanks and praise to life and its unfailing principles for having already manifested your dreams. Because if you can do that, they will come true. So I want to thank all of you for listening. I would recommend putting together a gratitude journal and starting either tonight or tomorrow morning, writing down 5 things you're grateful for every day. Because what you appreciate does appreciate. And I want to thank Cheryl for having me tonight, and thank all of you for listening. And now you can run to the Yankee game.
I'm grateful you're a Yankee fan, Joel. Thank you so much, Joel. I think that, with everything that you've done this year with, shifting from the individual to the group and the other changes that you made, I think that something that's just so important is how much you have focused on sharing the importance of gratitude with people this year throughout. It's something that when you're going through all these challenges, sometimes gratitude is like the bottom of your list, because there's so many other things that are up at the top that are annoying or bothering or challenging or whatever, and you just forget about being grateful. And I'm grateful that you have spent so much time this year with so many people sharing the power of gratitude. And on top of the power of gratitude, sharing the power of ourselves, of our own minds, of what we can accomplish when we put our minds to it. I think that, that's a really important lesson. And I really appreciate that you've shared that here tonight. Does anybody have any questions for Joel? I know I saw a hand up earlier that I may have missed, but I don't see a hand up anymore. So if somebody has a question, please unmute yourself. All right, I guess I missed the question earlier. Sorry about that, but thank you very much, Joel. I appreciate it. Thank you to all of our speakers. Thank you to all of our guests. We hope that you found the topics that we covered today to be inspiring, motivating, empowering. All of our speakers tonight were members of the networks. Everybody here is, I'm sure, more than willing and wants to connect with everybody out there and establish relationships and help each other to be as successful as they possibly can be. And I'm grateful for that. We all look forward to connecting with you again in the future. And in the meantime, stay safe and stay successful. Have a great night, everybody.
Thanks, Cheryl.
Thanks, everyone.